All right, now we're going to go out to the class to see what questions they have about the levy. Who has the first question? All right. State your name and grade, please.
Nick Crescimano, senior.
All right, Nick, what's your question for Mr. Jordan?
Hi, Mr. Jordan. I have a two-part question for you today. The first part is, I was wondering why you think there has been such a negative public perception of the levy. In the past 3 years it's been denied, or two and 3 years it's been denied by the community. And the second part of the question is, what is being done differently this time to change public perception and make it seem that's something desirable for the community?
Well, again, I think that a positive campaign lends itself to positive feel. Our PTO, our parent organizations, community members, I'll say this, we've had 2 community forums thus far that has had about 200 not only staff but family members involved and non-family members. The entire community was involved in that, and the tone of those meetings were very positive. So I can speak of now. The only thing I can speak of as past has been, again, the conversation has been what's going to be cut if it's not passed. And right then and there, I think the negative tone is set. And it's a bad taste in people's mouths that they might feel that it's a threat. We're very transparent. I think it says a lot when a central office and a board allows a fiscal committee to get together, open our books, show these people that are not employees of the district, and then ask for their recommendation to us. I think right then and there it shows that transparency is obvious. We don't mind showing what we're about fiscally, curriculum-wise, and again, communication is key. So hopefully with what we've done, we have a Twitter account that we're having increased involvement there. We have all-call systems now that we're trying to get messages out to families as much as possible, not only as a district level, but each individual building. Again, trying to get community involved in organizations. The robotics team had a huge influx of community members involved in it. We had the speech and debate team last year we housed the state tournament, and the participation and the volunteerism that showed themselves there was outstanding. Another example, just recently, there's a new concession stand in our stadium that no tax dollars went for that concession stand. Those were all donations. So we have people that want to get involved, and we want to open our doors more for them. So what has happened in the past, you're right, we failed 3. We're 0-3 in the last few campaigns, and that leaves a bad taste in our mouth. But again, we're going to do everything in our power to make it as positive as we can, and hopefully that community pride will take place. I tell you one thing that's going to resonate, hopefully, with our community. Most recently, if you just drive down 224, we had neighboring districts that passed levies most recently. Poland passed a 5.9 initiative last year, and Boardman passed an initiative. And I think it will say a lot to our community if our community doesn't step forward and pass an initiative, because right then and there, what type of pride will we have when we have neighboring districts passing it and we don't show the support? So we hope that, again, the positive vibe will catch fire, and we'll be door to door. Yep.
Are there any other questions in the class? All right.
Will Brown, and I'm a senior.
All right, Will, what is your question to Mr. Jordan?
Well, while we're on the topic about getting the public to vote for the levy, what is the difference between the physical levy between this year and the past failed versions of it? Like, what is there that can swing some of the no votes to yeses, especially in regards towards the costs towards people paying taxes in Canfield?
Again, education. We need to educate them what the money is going for. And I think that's going to definitely drive it home. We are going to get involved and have people and ask people to get involved that weren't asked to be involved last time. The staff in Canfield really didn't participate much because, from my understanding, they were asked not to. And I think that's a big piece. The staff is a big piece here. The student body was asked not to get involved last couple times. We are going to ask for your support, and that's going to start tomorrow with the senior class. You're having a meeting, and it's going to be presented to you that if you're interested in getting involved, sign up for a committee. We're going to ask for your help. This is your school system. This is not only your past, this is your future. It's going to be your alma mater, and you want to take some pride in that and get involved, you're going to be asked to get involved. So I think right there, the more people see that everybody's on board with this, the more people that are on board, again, hopefully it catches fire throughout the entire community.
Our next question is from Neil Timlin, grade 11. What's your question?
Mr. Jordan, why should students care about the levy?
Okay, we touched on it a little bit. Course offerings is going to be huge. That's a big push there. Again, trying to save your interest post-secondary as well. The more offerings we can have in school, AP, flex credit, college and in high school, the more we can do that way. Staff has to be on board with that, so we have to have the staff to carry that out. So high school students that way, one-on-one technology, the technology that we're going to get to you folks that are going to be able to use for research and not only in school but out of school, you're going to take those home with you. Security is big for everyone involved. I think students as well, taking ownership of your own security, but also making sure the security upgrades are in the building. Transportation, a lot of our families feel that burden for our younger ones, not being able to get them to and from school. I know a lot of you juniors and seniors probably drive or have rides with someone, but you do have a lot of freshmen, sophomores that do not. So that's going to help that population out. Again, pay to participate. Maybe you'll participate in something that you wouldn't have because of that fee that's on all of you. So there's a lot of different areas that how you're affected as a student. And hopefully, again, we drive that pride home.
All right, our next question is from Maggie Stanko, grade 12. What's your question, Maggie?
My question is, we're talking about all of this, the money that we're going to be acquiring if this levy passes. What is the actual dollar amount around that area, approximately? How much money are we asked to contribute if this passes?
Okay, there's a couple ways we can take a look at it. We can talk the total dollar amount. What the district is going to be receiving is just over $3 million annually. It is a 5-year levy, so if it were to pass, it would stay on the books for 5 years and then would have to be renewed after 5 years. And that's what's nice about this type of a levy, because accountability is going to be key. So even if when we're confident it's going to pass in November, but we're going to show the public that we're not going to frivolously spend the money as well, even if we do get it. So after a 5-year period, people will have to renew. So if people aren't confident that we're spending the money, you have a right to turn it down after 5 years. So that's what's nice about the levy there. We can talk about the valuation of a home. That's how people's tax dollars are calculated, and I'm sure I'm not teaching anything there, but I can explain a little bit. For a $100,000 home, that taxpayer would spend just over $17 a month additional. So $17 a month for a $100,000 home. $200,000 home, obviously double it, you're looking at $34. So not enormous amount of money, but enough to be decided and discussed for that taxpayer and that voter. Sure.
All right, our next question is from Michaela Backlund, senior.
I know a lot of people were wondering how much of the levy goes towards teachers' pay and how much we spend on insurance for the teachers' families.
Okay. The staff has taken quite a few concessions over the past several years, and I can give you exact dollars if you'd like. Like I said, over the past few years, we've reduced the expenses in the district by just over $4 million. And how that comes about is not only freezes to salaries, but an increased pay towards benefits. And when you talk about insurance, that's what I mean by benefits-wise. Staff pays 10% of their insurance at this point, and because of the step freezes and base salary freezes to this point, we've saved, again, just in salaries alone, right around $2 million that way, not including the reduction in staff. So as a staff member retires through attrition, they're not replaced, or reduction in staff-wise when it comes to drivers, custodians, secretarial assistants, aides, teaching staff, all of those come into play as well. And every time you remove a staff member, class sizes go up. So right now we're looking at class sizes at the elementary. They're pushing 30 students. And for a young one, that's a pretty good sized class. And again, that's a burden on a staff member to maintain classroom management for a class size that way. So again, there's different areas how you want to take a look at it. Via concessions when it comes to benefit increases in pay that staff members have to pay towards, or reduction in staff. They've been affected in many different ways.
Well, I believe that's it with the classes questions, but I have a few concerns regarding the levy. First off, why is the levy so, I guess, hidden in the school? Like, we're not really allowed to talk about it that much with the teachers and everything else.
As I mentioned before, getting students involved. But understand, any involvement by a student has to take place after school hours. We have laws, we have regulations, we have perception in the community that students come to school to be educated on the curriculum that's set up by the state of Ohio. And we're not going to deter that by any way. We're not going to change that. So during the school hours, people are going to be instructed, and teachers know this. They have a curriculum to set and standards to meet that they're going to carry out. Now, after hours is going to be different. We're going to start organizing, and we're going to get student body involved and staff involved in many different areas, whether it comes a phone bank, door-to-door campaign, town hall meetings. We just talked about coffee with the principal, so parents can come in, and we could have some student body involved in that as well, answering some questions and just maybe demonstrating on their value of the campaign also. So we're not going to hide, and we're not going to close the door to things. It's just we need to focus and know when we can do those.
How exactly is the board and the committee and yourself going about showcasing that things in the district are subpar, they're not up to standard with the rest of the community? Because when we've gone around and interviewed people from around the school, we've been told that everything's great and everything's been told in a very positive light, when we're not sure if that's actually the case. We wanted to know if you could go in a little bit more depth why everything's been so great.
I am humble to work here. I am happy to come to work every day. I am very thankful that I have the position that I have, because in my opinion, we're the best school system that money can buy. We're the best school system in Northeastern Ohio. We're 31 throughout the state. We can do better. We can grow. I think that is what we need to really drive home with individuals and with the community. We can do better for ourselves. Right now, we spend about $8,700 per student to educate you a year, about $8,700 per student. Districts that are in the top 10, they average over $12,000 a student. So again, that's another way we can show the value of a buck, that what's going on here in Canfield. We have many, many school systems below us in ranking that spend a heck of a lot more money per youngster. Now, that being said, somebody might say, well, you're doing what's good with what the money you're getting. We can do better. And to me, top 10 is definitely attainable. And we have great, great students coming from outstanding families that have a great deal of pride in our school system and value education here in Canfield. We just want to do better for them.